Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. In this video we're going to do a review of game week 5. We'll look at the top scoring points for assists, for goal involvement, for goals, those that are expected. We'll look at the predicted points for the next 5 weeks, those top players as well. Have a look at how I did, have a look at how our mini league is getting on, who's winning, who got the most points. We'll be coming back at you later on in the week with team selection, wildcard videos, loads of good stuff, lots to get through. So don't forget to hit that like button, make sure you subscribe. And in the meantime, let's take a look. Before we get started then, big shout out to Jack Berry. Thank you for the graphics that you sorted out for us on the front and ending screens. I hope you agree, I'm sure you will, that they look vastly improved. Just always looking to get better, so thank you for that. The game week 5 has not ended yet. By the time recording, we've still got the Leicester-Manchester United fixture to play. However, I don't really think that affects too much our overall ranks. Looking at the mini leagues, there's very few people with Manchester United or Leicester assets. I expect my game week rank to go down a little bit, but I don't think it will go down hugely unless Madison perhaps is about the only one with a high effective ownership that could hurt us. But otherwise, pretty much most teams have cashed out in this round. So let's have a look at the highest points, scores and expected assists and goals for this round. Highest expected goals, which player? No surprise. Erling Haaland, 3 goals, got a second hat-trick in a row. 17 points, just ridiculous amount of points. Again, if you captain him twice in a row, your rank would have absolutely ballooned. Well done for that. Jesus was the next highest, a whole goal behind on 1.29. That was because he had quite a simple tap in. Alvarez, 0.95, that's quite interesting. And Diaz, the only midfielder on there, with 0.87. So, Haaland once again topping that expected goals. Expected assists, however, I don't think many people would have got this. This is what I quite like about these stats. They throw up the odd curveball. Highest expected, Romain Perraud. He set one up for Adam Armstrong and nearly got another assist, blocked on the line. So he got 9 points. That's without a clean sheet. 4.5 million, really low. John Stones was next highest expected assist, and then Ben White. So the top 3 as being all defenders. Firmino then was the only other midfielder stroke attacker, 0.67. But Romain Perraud, I think if Southampton are a bit tighter at the back, maybe we could possibly consider an option. But I think there's too many of the better choices at the moment. So that was goals, that was assists. Overall goal involvement, Haaland absolutely wiped the floor with everyone. Next in line was Alvarez. His expected goal involvement was 1.33, which is a whole goal below Haaland, who had 2.33. Jesus was up there as well. 12 points for Alvarez, 6.2. Playing up front for Manchester City just sounds too good to be true. And it pretty much is, because we just don't know when he's going to get the games. If for some reason Pep decided to go both of them up front, perhaps then with a bit of assurances that he's going to get more game time, he could become an option. At the moment though, he just feels his game time is going to be just managed too much. If anything ever happened to Haaland though, you feel that 6.2, he's a player you'd want to jump straight onto. And wow, how much cash would that release? In terms of other players and value players that did really well this game week, I picked out a couple. John Stones, we mentioned before. Manchester City don't have a wealth or a real dearth of centre-backs at the moment. Ake out, Laporte not back yet. So 5.4 in defence. He looks pretty nailed. Seasoned FPL managers will remember him from a couple of years back where he had a really good run of fixtures. Pep just kept him in the side, earned his place. And as a cheap defender, he was really good. Doesn't mind taking a shot. Picked up 1 assist, 10 points this week. Expected goal involvement, 0.82. That's really good for a centre-back. 2 assists in a row for him now as well. No shots on goal. Key passes 1. Certainly know from memory he doesn't mind having a pot shot at goal. Threat from set pieces. He's a slightly higher price than Walker, but he does have a bigger goal threat. That's without a doubt. The other player that I was going to pick up on was Isaac. Now he had an impressive debut against Liverpool at Anfield. Scored 9 points, 7 million. Nailed up front for a Newcastle side that looking pretty good shape and with good fixtures. I think he's a decent option. The problem you have with players like Isaac or any other strikers is Jesus and Haaland are pretty much nailed up there. If you haven't gone Haaland, you're probably gone Kane. I'm regretting it at the moment. But who else? You've got one other slot. Who do you use? You might have already have Mitrovic in your side. Tony may be there away. So already Isaac's a bit of a struggle to get in. But as a differential, I quite like him. I've only got sort of an enabler in terms of Greenwood up there at the moment, As a striker, Isaac's a big jump to get to him, but it is tempting. I might look and investigate possibilities of going to him. 2 shots on goal, no key passes, but we want him just dealing in goals. He's quite a tempting player and it's quite interesting. He'll definitely be one I want to keep an eye on. Have a look at how I got on this week then. I finished on 80 points. All my players have played now. Ward is on the bench, but he won't get on because Ramsdale's played. Pretty happy with that. My ranks jumped from just over 2 million to 1.6, so that's a pretty hefty jump. I think always with the nature of FPL is that you always consider what could have been. If I'd captained Haaland the last 2 games, wow, I'd have probably moved up an extra million by now. But I've got to be pleased with what has happened. In fact, I've got Haaland I'm happy with. Salah did return, a decent return as well, so I can't complain. Trent, that was the only transfer I made. Robbo to Trent, worried about Robbo's rotation. Trent just looks far more effective. His stats are better. So I've bitten the bullet, gone for that. That hasn't paid off as of yet. Perisic got a point. Walker, clean sheet, was great. Bailey came on because Reece James didn't play. Not really worried about Reece James. From what I understand, he's just not well. Didn't train, but they expect him to be fit for the weekend. And then Andreas, Martinelli, Salah, Sterling, Haaland, Jesus, all returning. So that's really good news. The one highlight, I suppose, Andreas, fortunate to get that assist, was nice. But just Sterling over the last 4 or 5 days, every time he scores, it's a huge boost for my rank. It's just such a differential. It's quite a hard price point to get to, I think, as well, unless you're going to downgrade from, let's say, a Salah. And most people have jumped off Son already. So I do think that Sterling is a real asset for me while he's scoring. And it's nice just to be vindicated after being patient and going through those first few bank game weeks. He is now paying dividends. Glad he's in my side. Luckily, Nico Williams didn't come off the bench. That would have cost me a point. But yeah, pretty decent. Happy with that week. Let's have a look then at the highest predicted point scoring players for the next 5 weeks. And in defence, no surprise, they change order. And I think Cancelo's now 7.2. But you got Cancelo. Then you have Trent, who was the top point scoring predicted. Cancelo just got better fixtures, I think, there, and marginally better. And Robertson and 23 points. Robertson just looks, streets behind Trent in terms of what he is doing in games and the underlying stats. I haven't said that Cancelo wasn't doing that impressive either. But those 3, head and shoulders above all other defenders. And it's just down to their attacking output. In the midfield, there no surprises. We've got Salah up there still. Decent set of fixtures again. They've got Chelsea and Arsenal, won't be easy. But then Everton, Wolves coming up shortly. Don't mind targeting them. KDB had a rest during the week. Could that mean he's more liable to get minutes now he's had that rest? And then lastly, Son, who's just been really unimpressive. He's just hung on into 3rd place there. But he's got a good fixture against Fulham at the weekend. Difficult run of fixtures after that. But Son, not a player I'll be looking to jump on anytime soon. He's just not looking anywhere near the sort of player. It looks a shadow of the player he was last year. Up front, I think pretty clear cut. We know what's coming. Haaland, top by a long way. He's now gone up to 11.9. Harry Kane as well. He looks clear of the next best. And the next best comes up with Ivan Toney. 7.2 million, 17.9 predicted points. But that's 2 per game less than Erling Haaland. To be honest, you'd expect Haaland to score many more points than Toney than that, given what we've seen in the last 2 game weeks. So those 3 are the top scoring forwards predicted. Gives us an idea of how the fixtures are falling. I've picked out a couple of players that I think are worth looking at in terms of their value over the next few weeks. One, Saint-Maximin, he's due to get his... We'll have to keep an eye on press conferences, but hopefully he'll be fit for the weekend. Palace looks like a decent fixture. West Ham away will be awkward, but then you got Bournemouth, Fulham, Brentford. That looks nice. 6.5, playing quite far up. I wouldn't mind him in my side. And Bernardo getting a run of games for Man City. My only nagging worry is does KDB come in for him or Gundogan? How does that work out? Great fixtures. If he keeps his starting place, just playing forward, quite far forward, and the Man City side free scoring so well at the moment, you just want that. You just want him in your side. Last one is I am picking out Sterling. He is just behind Son in terms of predicted points. Decent set of fixtures if you take that Liverpool game out. Nailed. Is he on pens? Jorginho gave him the ball at the weekend. Suggests to me that possibly he's on pens. Or was Jorginho just doing that because Sterling hadn't scored at that moment in time and he wanted him to get off the mark? Only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see unless Tuchel's asked about it in a press conference. But he looks good, hitting some form, great online stats. Like him, difficult price point to get to though, I admit. Let's end by looking at our mini league then. Premier League, I hope I said that right. Peter Christensen still top with 378 points. He had a decent game week, 83 points. He's actually ranked 6,000 odd in the world, so that's amazing, Peter. Well done. Let's have a look at his side. He does have one or two things that he's got to do to his side. Cancelo obviously raking in the points with there. Martinelli, well done. Salah, captain. Haaland, another great decision. What a difference that must make. Jesus, Andreas getting in. Unfortunately, James didn't play because Konsa didn't play either. So Nico Williams had to come off the bench, not De Silva. You've got to have 3 defenders in your side, so that cost him a point. I tried to think what that would have done to your rate. James out, Rodrigo out. So possibly James should be alright for the weekend, so I wouldn't be looking to do anything there. But then Rodrigo, possibly. Who to move to? We'll have a look at options, maybe another video. But wow, brilliant. Let's hope you keep it up, Peter. That's amazing. In terms of top scoring players in our division then, Caspani with Chelsea NBR. 90 points for him. His side, again, captain and Haaland, Martinelli, Salah, Cancelo. James on the bench, but didn't have Nico Williams to downgrade any of his points. Walker kept a clean sheet as well, so that was good. 90 points, well done. There was a few players in the league that actually got more than 90 points, but they took hits to get there, so I've taken those points off. And then finally we had Dalton Force, so again Rodrigo, maybe an issue there, having to sort out. Ederson, Cancelo, he did well in defence. What was nice was White, he got 2 bonus points and a clean sheet for Arsenal because he came off just before Aston Villa scored. In fact, was it the corner before he scored? It was very close. So, wow, okay, that was just a nice stroke of luck, if you like. White keeps that clean sheet. Jesus, Haaland, he captained Salah. So, wow, what difference would have made if you captained Haaland? You'd have had, what, over 100 points? That'd be amazing. Or nearly 100 points. Neto on the bench, you got some sort of depth there as well. If he comes in for Rodrigo, Southampton at home, so not a bad fixture there. Be interesting to see what you've done. But, wow, great week, guys. Well done. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments below how you got on for game week 5. We'll come back at you with a team selection or watch list video, probably rolled into one because of the time constraints. Trying to get a wildcard video out as well for those of you that are interested for game week 6. In the meantime, hope if you've got players playing tonight, they do well for you. Good luck, and I'll speak to you soon.